Lesson 7. What are the environmental issues found in London? London is the capital of the United Kingdom, which makes it the centre for development and urban progress in the nation. But alongside with the progressive development and the apparent technological advancements sits the environmental and the natural surroundings of London, which can at times be sacrificed in an area that is undergoing urbanisation. Though London may seem to be a thriving commercial hub as well as a popular tourist destination, it is not exempt from environmental issues that plague well-developed areas. Air pollution. London, despite the high standards of development, has at times faced a crisis that is at risk of damaging its reputation as one of the best cities to be in. This is because the City of London has been found to be one of the most polluted places in Europe. Indeed, in 2010, after regular monitoring of air pollution, London surpassed the allotted amount of bad air days permitted in Europe, which is a European Union rule. This rule states that each nation is only allowed up to 35 bad air days throughout the year. However, in London in 2010, the 36th bad air day was recorded in under 6 months. As a result, the UK faced court cases and a series of fines from Europe. It has been scientifically proven that air pollution reduces life expectancy and can take 8 months from one's life, rising to 2 years in most polluted places. It had also been said that this poor air quality as a result of air pollution is the leading cause of around 50,000 deaths in the United Kingdom each year. 4,300 deaths are directly due to air pollution. 9% of deaths in London are caused by air pollution, which makes this an issue that is impossible to ignore. It has been observed that the costs arising from this situation are around £2 billion a year. The European Commission took action regarding this ongoing issue of air pollution and reprimanded the UK as well as any other countries which exceeded the 35 bad air days each year. However, a plan was quickly implemented. London took action such as applying dust suppressants to road surfaces so that dust particles no longer lift up into the air and no longer circulate around the city, further degrading its air quality. The local government also issued a new generation of double-decker buses that are 40% less polluting than the original traditional diesel double-decker buses. London is also spending millions to support the mainstreaming of electric vehicles because these create absolutely no pollution whatsoever. Comprehensive monitoring of pollution levels has also been put into place. Expensive standards of living. London has a reputation for being one of the best cities in the world as a result of historical heritage, political power, and scientific and technological superiority. As a result of this, London has become very popular as a destination for visitors as well as for its residents, and in turn, the prices of everything have skyrocketed. Everything in London is more expensive than the same items located in other cities or towns. This is because of the reputation that London has. Some of these things are made in London, sold in London, and used in London, and London is a prime city with high living standards. This high standard of living has caused the prices to increase, leaving people consistently worse off. So in London, the potential higher rates of pay also come with higher costs of expenditures. Because of the expensive and high standard of living, it is because of this that businesses often have a hard time coping with expenses that they have in relation to their capital, especially the smaller to medium-sized businesses. The startup capital needs to be a lot higher. The prices of products or services they produce also need to be higher, but the competition is so strong, and having a new business in London is more likely to end in bankruptcy because of these factors. It is also very hard to compete with the original companies and established businesses here, when you take into account the high expenses that result from this high standard of living and working in London. Overcrowding as a result of too much urbanisation. The Londoners as what the people who live in London call themselves, sometimes decide to leave London and settle somewhere else. This is also often because of continuous urbanisation that is happening. There are new immigrants flocking into the city every year, and this causes London to become overcrowded, and it seems that the pressure builds up on the residents, making it detrimental to physical and psychological health to continue to live there. London has become so saturated that people are moving outside the city to find places that they can breathe fresher air, live in a quieter environment, and enjoy a more rural life. In conclusion, London, like most urban areas, is facing environmental issues, the main problem being the issue of air pollution. This is typical for urbanised areas due to the emissions from businesses and the high numbers of vehicles in cities emitting pollution as by product of combustion of fossil fuels. Luckily, London is the capital of a first world country and is one of the most progressive cities in the world. Because of this, the pollution issues in London have been limited to air pollution. However, the governing bodies in London are working hard to monitor and minimise the environmental issue. Some residents decide to leave London because of the urbanisation and overcrowding that it experiences, with hope of finding a more rural and natural place to live. Despite all of these problems, London remains capable of charming people to it, as it continues its legacy being the most well-known, majestic city in the world.